Shut up and sit down.
He was small.
Yes.
Ho, ho, ho. I am Simon Claus.
I'm Krampus.
I don't even know what that is.
Tell you later.
Oh, and if you like our silly videos, please remember to like, comment, and most of all subscribe, because that would be very kind and seasonal and festive of you. And we are having a couple of drinks that are called...
Squirrel Ambition.
Squirrel Ambition. Where do they hide their nuts?
Brilliant tactical mind.
Yes. And we're surprising each other with movie trailers that the other person has not yet seen.
So this one is my pick, and I think I might actually have found one that is not on your radar at all.
Uh-oh.
But it's a documentary, and it is a documentary about a movie that I have seen about 20 times because it was always on TV when I was growing up.
Wait, it's a documentary about a movie and you've seen the movie at least 20 times?
Yes.
But the documentary is new.
The documentary is coming out. Apparently, it's one of those independent movies, so they're a little bit vague / unrealistically optimistic. Apparently, it's going to be in theaters December 8th.
Oh, we'll see.
So we'll put a pin in that. I would love that to be the case. I love that journey for you. But I can't see it happening. But this movie is pretty special. I'm reasonably sure you've seen it because I don't know how you could have avoided it.
Awesome. Well, I am intrigued and scaroused, so let's just roll the freaking trailer.
My life after the Navigator has been pretty crazy.
Randall had called me one day and said, "Did you hear about Joey?" And I said, "No, I hadn't."
What was it, a bank robbery?
When I saw what had happened, my heart broke.
It's not just a story about a kid actor that goes to jail. It's about what happened. I was hoping that they would get a good kid because it all depended on him.
They wanted somebody who kind of walked in the door and was natural.
And action.
We weren't in it for the money or anything except the adventure.
When I tried to go back to school and be normal, I was anything but normal.
I think Joey was on the verge of massive stardom, to be honest.
Child actors always have problems.
It's almost like being typecast as a kid, and you grow out of being a kid.
And before I knew it, my childhood was gone.
Going on a location to shoot a movie was my favorite thing to do.
Joe just called. Oh, hang on a sec. Dad, can I go to Norway?
We wanted the spaceship to start out to have a certain configuration when it's hovering.
It was a small set, and we had 4 weeks.
We built those steps with steel rods going away from the camera. You couldn't really do that with special effects.
The Puckmarin. Wow.
He was small. We couldn't understand him.
We just all had such a great time on the movie. It was terrific.
After I finished Navigator, I didn't really fit in. And I started smoking a lot of dope. I started drinking a lot. Do us all a favor and kill yourself.
Those choices seem so silly to anybody who's clean and has been all their life.
Felt like I let a lot of people down. I love you, Joe. I love you. And I spent some long nights down here. There were some pretty dark times, definitely. The more we say it, the better it feels. So every morning, I've got to go to the pharmacy for my methadone. I was here with guys who had been in and out of jail for most of their lives.
Why is Navigator so revered and special to so many people?
Because it has heart.
Kids were always coming up to me saying, "Oh, you were the dad in Flight of the Navigator."
It's a really fun movie with a great message about love and family.
It's another world in which anything is possible.
When we do movies, it lasts forever.
It's lovely when they come up and they say, my favorite movie is Flight of the Navigator. It's not Alien, it's Flight of the Navigator.
I was the movie star kid who had no identity, and now I do. Now I do.
So, you've just seen the heartbreaking trailer for Life After Flight of the Navigator.
Oh.
I feel really bad because I thought it was going to be a documentary about the movie and not just a heartbreaking documentary about that poor guy.
But is it heartbreaking or is it heartwarming?
It is. I mean, it sounds like he went on a heck of a journey, and
Yeah.
he's in a really good place right now. And I really hope this kicks off it reminds him of like how much he brought to people, and hopefully that kind of helps him on like as he's following his recovery journey.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure I watched Flight of the Navigator 20 times when I was a kid, but I definitely watched it a lot. And it was one of those movies like, you know, Star Wars was huge to me and to everyone else in, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s. Like, and that was the pinnacle of my gullible child years when I believed everything I saw on a big screen. But it was a fantasy, right? It was away from, you know, it was alien planets a long time ago, a galaxy far, far away. E.T. for me really captured my imagination as to what you could do on the Earth. I remember I had a Mr. Speak and Spell and a Mr. Speak and Math, and I used to like look at the back of them and be like, how do I use this to communicate with an alien planet? Like that would be pretty neat. And I've seen it in that documentary about extraterrestrials. But as much as E.T. was huge budget and really kind of heartwarming, like the sets were quite claustrophobic. They were quite closed sets, quite small. They mostly happened in that kid's bedroom or in that small town. And it was only at the end where it kind of opened up and you saw the wider world. Whereas Flight of the Navigator was the opposite. Like from pretty much from the get-go, the visuals were just so stunning. And the ship, I thought, was the most striking thing. That ship with no windows, like that weird, blobby, kind of slug, chrysalis-looking ship.
And then it morphed as
Yeah.
well. Like I don't think we'd seen that before.
Right. I had no idea that the steps were done using physical props either, because they, again, just steps that just hover in the air, just looked so incredible. And, you know, whereas E.T. made me think, how can I use my Mr. Speak and Spell to communicate with aliens? Flight of the Navigator made me think, you know what, any minute an alien ship could just swoop down, steps could appear, and I could be in some smarmy ship that's saying, you're the navigator.
You could be the chosen one, and you could get a tiny little, like, maggot puppy thing with the little fingies.
Yes, yeah.
I wanted one of those so badly. That was before they had merchandise for movies, but otherwise that would have been Baby Yoda of its day.
Yeah, that was the OG Baby Yoda. I'd forgotten how much I loved Flight of the Navigator. This kind of really recaptured that for me, but also what a journey the guy's been on. I mean,
yes,
from like child stardom, which must be such just mess with your head in itself, to just suddenly be larger than life when you're a kid, but then for that just to disappear and to be back in mediocrity again must just be soul crushing. And like, I wouldn't blame anyone for turning to any kind of substance abuse.
Like addiction and bank robbery, I mean, holy
really. I had no idea the guy had been through so much. But any time someone's been through that kind of thing and has the strength to come out the other side, then not only kudos, but I would listen to that person's story all day long. You know, whether it's a movie star or anybody else, I think that's a story worth telling. So,
and I love how the rest of the cast like really think fondly of him as well and kind of support him on his journey as well. It was just nice to kind of see hints of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in the movie, like them kind of helping him through that journey.
Yeah, you know, I would love to watch the movie again and then watch this documentary directly after the movie to just kind of remember how fond I was of the different characters in the movie and the different actors, and then see them tell a very, very real, raw story afterwards. I think this actually looks pretty magical in every sense of the word.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, I'm stoked that you found, what's it called, Life After the Navigator.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really stoked that you found this. I can't wait to see it. And I guess it said November. I guess it's probably not coming in November.
I checked and it said in theatres December 8th, but I can't see that happening. So, and it looks like an independent movie, so, you know, like, Google it. I mean,
Yeah, when we'll put it in the description, so you don't even need to do that. But, you know, I mean, the good thing about independent movies is that they don't necessarily cost a ton to make. You know, they can recap that through streaming pretty easily, and, you know, it's not like Wonder Woman 1984, where hopefully they're going to leave it on the back burner for 2 years before they bring it out and finally sell it off to HBO. Hopefully it'll be an easier one to get to the masses. So I guess we will see, hopefully, sooner than later. But otherwise, just go and watch Flight of the Navigator again. I think we're going to, because it's awesome.
So good.
Cool. Well, I think you're leaving a couple of very upbeat, good-feeling nerds right now. And we haven't even seen it yet. Just the trailer did that to us. Well, friends, you won't have to wait indefinitely to see when we next come to the masses, because, of course, we do this every single day. And we will see you on the next Drunk Trailer Ambush.
Peace out, Navigators.
Bye.
Shut up and sit down.